Ladies and gentlemen, the Democratic Party is very, very interesting. They're the type of political party that is brilliant at masking their own misconduct in allegations against their political rivals. So what they do is the equivalent of a husband who's found in his own bedroom with 3 Victoria's Secret models, and there are no clothes on in his wife's own bed, and his wife opens the door, and he's like, "How dare you?" And she's like, "How dare me? How dare you? I want this marriage is over. You have the audacity to not trust me? What are you, engaged in some kind of domestic surveillance? How dare you open the door? What were you thinking?" This is my bedroom. You're in the bed with 3 women. I know, and you know what? How dare you not trust me? That's the Democratic Party. That's the Democratic Party. Every single thing that they're guilty of, they just, oh my God, cheating Bernie Sanders, Debbie Wasserman Schultz forced to resign, and then that's it. It was the Russians who informed the country. It wasn't the Democratic Party. Oh, and now with this, we now find out that Giuliani says Ukraine laundering $3 million to Hunter Biden, and how could President Obama let that happen? So this is very interesting. I'll read you a Fox and the New York Post article. Rudy Giuliani channeled President Trump Monday with a tweet. Okay, so in the Ukraine story, Giuliani's personal attorney if the Dem Party doesn't call for an investigation of Biden's millions from Ukraine and billions from China, they will own it. Biden made big money selling public office. How could President Obama have allowed this? Will Democrats continue to condone and enable this kind of pay-to-play? So Giuliani writes, if Dem Party doesn't call for an investigation, so Giuliani titled his tweet, "New Fact," and said Biden received a one-time payment of $3 million from the Ukraine that went through Latvia and then Cyprus before entering the U.S. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Wow, could you imagine if this type of situation happened to Kushner or Trump Jr. or Eric Trump? Did President Obama know that his vice president, the one he put in charge of giving billions to Ukraine, had a son who was making millions on the board of one of the most corrupt companies in the Ukraine? Biden's boss has stolen $5 billion from Ukraine and was a fugitive. Did President Obama know? Did he approve? Then there's the issue of Biden actually threatening, making a threat, and then bragging about it, and saying, if you don't fire a prosecutor, you're not going to get $1 billion. And then the rebuttal is, well, that prosecutor was corrupt. It's like, no, that's not the way things work. Clinton is corrupt too. And as we all know now, another country would never be allowed to dictate what happens in our country. So why is it okay for Biden to simply say, oh, well, you know what, $1 billion, you're not going to get $1 billion if you don't, do exactly as we say. If you don't do exactly as we say, you're not going to get the $1 billion. Then they accuse Trump of saying that. But when President Obama's administration uses a Steele dossier purchased by Clinton and literally gossip from Alexander Downer, who is linked to the Clinton Foundation, a former Australian ambassador, that's okay. And then when the UK intelligence services suddenly just tell things to Peter Strzok and to the FBI or Clapper or Brennan, and Strzok has to fly to London and Andrew McCabe knows about it, to meet with Christopher Steele, President Obama has nothing to do with it. It wasn't like he asked for the investigation. But oh my God, If there was, by the way, we find out today that the whistleblower does not have direct knowledge. And first of all, it's an operative. It's not somebody who's risking life and limb to inform the country of, things the government does not want you to know. But anyway, let's just read this New York Post article. There's a great New York Post article on this. So, in addition to possibly $3 million, there's the issue of $1 billion or hundreds of millions related to China. Let's just read this. Giuliani accuses Ukraine of laundering millions to Biden's son. President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, early Monday accused Ukraine of laundering $3 million to Joe Biden's son, Hunter, and questioned how former President Obama could have allowed this to happen. So, again, who does this benefit? Who does this benefit, people? Okay, it benefits you-know-who. The Golden Moo-Moo. All roads lead to the Golden Moo-Moo. All roads. And that's not like, oh my God, like, how can you, are you serious about that? Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. Who purchased the Steele dossier? What about CrowdStrike? The United States government didn't even look at DNC servers. The DNC being hacked, allegedly, from now until eternity is not national security. Do you want a foreign power to influence our election? It didn't influence our election. Only imbeciles truly believe that. It's easily debunked. How many votes were altered if you won the popular vote? How is that even possible? Find an article about Facebook ads before the election that were swinging swing state voters, that were altering the viewpoints of swing state voters. Nobody looks at a Facebook ad and says, I'm going to vote for this person now. That doesn't make any sense at all. And then if the DNC emails or Podesta emails happen to swing votes, then guess what? It's the corruption found in those emails, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign because of those emails. It all goes back to the Democratic Party, but let's continue. New fact: one $3 million payment to Biden's son from Ukraine to Latvia to Cyprus to the U.S. When prosecutor asked Cyprus for amount going to son, he was told U.S. Embassy President Obama's instructed them not to provide the amount. Prosecutor getting too close to son, and Biden had him fired. So this is not going to end well for Biden's campaign. He's not going to be able to circumvent this. He's on tape, people. He is on tape. He is on tape, on video. I played it yesterday. The segment's doing well. You can see that this is all basically Biden's essentially leaving the campaign. If he's not, let's put it this way: whether Clinton runs before or after Iowa, let's say she runs after Iowa before Super Tuesday, she'll wrap up the entire nomination at Super Tuesday. Okay? Clinton, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. She might not run in October. She might not run in November. She might not run in December. She might not run in January. February, March, she's running. So by then or before then, Clinton is going to be the 2020 Democratic nominee. You think there's a chance in the known universe that Clinton will campaign for Elizabeth Warren? Do you think that's even remotely possible? The ego there is not, you wouldn't even, that would never happen. Warren couldn't raise $2 in fundraising compared to Clinton. Bernie's, I still read, liberal and progressive and whatever, publications just to see what's going on. His campaign is done. He's Bernie supporters. They malign. They marginalize Bernie supporters. Assaulted this person. It's like always 5 or 6 people online. They're passionate, and it's, oh my God, what a big horrible thing. Meanwhile, David Brock, correct the record, spends $1 million on trolls to basically just harass people, and it's no problem. Any other candidate has the most. Okay, Clinton had the most vicious online loyalists, the most, cruel. But Bernie, whatever. Bernie Sanders, I hate to say it, he's received exactly what he deserves because of fomenting a myth that sent us back in terms of foreign policy. We entered a new Cold War just because Democrats lost. They're sinister. You're talking about the most sinister people. And Bernie could have just simply said, no, it wasn't Russia's fault. Even if they hacked the DNC, it still goes back to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. But anyway, they're brilliant at masking. What, honey? You have the audacity to open the door? You're with 3 Victoria's Secret models in our bed. Yeah? There's no clothes on. Yeah? And you're in our bed and you're cheating on me with 3 Victoria's Secret models. And you opened the door? You don't trust me? No. No, this will not stand. It's like, what? What? You were caught red-handed with your pants down, literally, and you flip it to, how dare you? You don't trust me? You want to just check my phone now? Really? No, can you please leave? And by the way, get us some Domino's pizza. They have no shame in their game. Do you understand? Everything that they do wrong, they just say another person did wrong, and then you just call it a day. They're funneling money. They're starting investigations on Trump. Oh my God, he did this, and based on a Steele dossier that Clinton purchased to his direct political rival, she purchased an investigation against. Oh no, it was done by official channels, so President Obama didn't know about it. Could you imagine? And everything is this melodramatic, like, it's too much now. It's too much. Oh, you might as well, he's an emperor. He's an emperor now. It's like, what? He had a phone conversation. You won't even let him have a phone conversation about the criminal activity, the possible criminal activity of somebody that has zero chance of becoming Democratic nominee. And even if he did, it doesn't matter. The Wall Street Journal reported, on Friday, if the Democratic Party doesn't call for an investigation of Biden's millions from Ukraine and billions from China, there's a whole issue with China as well. It's really unbelievable. It's really, really unbelievable. They are caught up in scandals of their own. They are caught up in scandals of their own, and yet, instead of dealing with those scandals, like this Congressman Nunes stated, well, how many times has Nadler wanted to talk about the IG report? How about nothing? How about none? Peter Schweitzer, Hunter Biden needs to testify in Ukraine-China business deals. This is a May 14, 2019. Government Accountability Institute President Peter Schweitzer, he wrote Clinton cash. That should have been used to start investigations into Clinton. That is actually a book that's sourced with, this is not only accurate information, but it's evidence. Money flows. All of these money flows to Democrats. All of these money flows from Fusion GPS, who by the way, Mueller doesn't know who Fusion GPS and Glenn Simpson are, to CrowdStrike. They paid CrowdStrike. They paid Christopher Steele. Hunter Biden's getting millions from the Ukraine. All of this money is flowing. Cash flowed to the Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. Uranium One executives are giving money to the Clinton Foundation. It's all a coincidence. $10 billion was raised in Haiti. Oh, my God. Oh, don't even bring it up. 85 donors give $156 million. Oh, that's just... all these money flows. UBS gives money. They get hooked up with the IRS. Oh, my goodness. While Clinton is Secretary of State... and weapons deals, they get, countries get exponentially greater weapons deals. That David Sirota wrote about that. He's not a Trump supporter. But it's really unbelievable. And here we have Andrew McCabe weighing in. This is unbelievable. This guy, you talk about chutzpah. You talk about audacity. This guy's like, yeah, Trump got away with a lot. It's like, dude, you're about to get indicted for lying under oath. Then the rebuttal from a lot of people is like, well, it didn't hurt anyone. Yeah, it did. He lied because of self-serving purposes, because his wife received another money transfer of money, $700,000 from Clinton allies. With Democrats and media, they're like, well, Trump directly told the Ukrainian president, so that's a really big problem. It's like you have millions upon millions of dollars flowing and exchanging hands to Democrats. You have absurd investigations started, and you think that President Obama isn't a part of any of this? He just had no control of his administration. He knew nothing ever. He didn't even know that his Secretary of State had private servers outside of the United States government. This is why nobody trusts the media. It's not, you're not fooling anyone. You're only fooling enough people to vote for you to get 60 million plus voters. That's it. That's it. And they're not assured of the popular vote if they don't get... the popular vote is going to be... it's not going to be over close to 3 million. I don't believe. They could win the popular vote just because they have Hollywood and everything. But she outspent Trump 2-1 and barely got... 3 million is not like this... They say it's like, oh my God, but then again, they were cheated by Russia, so their propaganda is completely, undermined if you just look into what they claim. But here, the researcher provided an overview of Hunter Biden's alleged business dealings with the Ukrainian energy company and the Chinese government. In a recent New York Post op-ed detailing payments of more than $3 million to Hunter Biden's company during a 4-month period when his father was at the point person on Ukraine policy in the Obama administration. And so he's getting millions of dollars, and what a coincidence! This has absolutely nothing to do with the former Vice President Joe Biden bragging about removing a Ukrainian prosecutor who was going after the same corporation that his son was on and getting millions of dollars from. Oh my goodness. Schweitzer's op-ed also details Hunter Biden's alleged dealing with China, noting how the former second son accompanied his father on an official trip to Beijing in 2013, only then to have his company ink a $1 billion private equity deal with the Chinese government 2 weeks later. That's a coincidence, too. There's no direct correlation between anything that happens to Democrats. Okay? William Barr, we're waiting. There has to be. This cannot go on. This cannot go on. Hunter Biden at the time had no background in China and little background in private equity. This is hilarious. It's not, I don't even blame, listen, I don't blame Hunter Biden at all. At all. Great. You know what? You know, if your dad is vice president, or if you have a cousin who's vice president, whatever, go ahead, use the family connections. It's all good. I don't care. What do I care? I really don't care about that. What I care about is the notion that all of this is just a coincidence. That Democrats are hilarious. They're like, Trump, he was horrible and wrong and committed crimes, but in a conversation. Meanwhile, Biden does the same thing, videotape bragging about it, and there are actually more flows of money to his son, correlating to official actions as vice president. And when you ask Joe Biden, he's like, look, man, you know what? I dealt with grape nuts. I can deal with you. Okay? Don't mess with me. Cornflakes. You know what? Cornflakes mess with me. Look what happened to him. Okay? Oh, you want Lucky Charms? You think you're lucky? No. Cocoa Puffs, Count Chocula, Special K, all of them. Wheaties. Okay? You wanna go? You wanna go breakfast cereal? It's like Clinton is running not because I say so, because you have an unbridled quest for political power burning in the heart of the Golden Moo for decades. She ain't going to, you see her campaigning for anyone else but her? Does that make any sense at all? For people who think that you're talking, Madam Cyberhack is like everyone else, sure, yeah, why? You know what? It'll hurt a little bit, but she's just like everyone else. Like, no, she's not. No one else buys a Steele dossier and gets the entire country plunged into a new Cold War. Okay? Hey, you know what? It is what it is. It's just time to accept what's going on. It is what it is. It is what it is. But she's not running yet. You can wait till February. Or March even. The media will make everything palatable, will spin everything, and there won't even be a 3-year time lapse between the first failed presidential campaign and the second. She's going to lose to Trump. She might not run in October. She has a fundraiser in October with $50,000 to $35,000 to $10,000 or $15,000 per plate at her D.C. mansion. Who do you think's pocketing every single cent of that? No, I'm sorry. She'll give like half of a percent to some poor down-ticket Democrat someplace. Oh, I can buy some Scotch tape. Thanks, Hillary. You're the best. Every cent, I should say, of that money is going to Clinton 2020. It would be absurd, and it would be the worst political move she's ever made in her life if she didn't run. Look at the wonderful field. You have a person who failed her DNA test. Honey, can I have a beer? No one believes that. No one believes that. It's like watching Beto O'Rourke, put a hamburger on an English muffin. I was like, what? What? You're not like everyone else. No, Beto. Anyway, and then Biden with this fiasco. Clinton gets two birds with one stone with this one. She can, deceive. The media can deceive the Russiagate people and say, "Oh my God, again!" It never happened the first time, imbeciles. But let's just keep going. And then so Biden's out of the way with this, and then it hurts Trump, and then she can tweet, "Well, again, he asked a foreign country again for help." Help in exposing your crimes. Yeah, continue the sentence. Continue the sentence, Madam Cyberhack. Clinton is going to run again, but it's important to understand that she is. Not because it's a prediction of mine, and not because I'm the only person saying this in all of media. And I've stated this in the Huffington Post and then in the Times of Israel. The reason is because, ladies and gentlemen, when people say, "Hey, gee, I wonder what's going to happen with the whole the whole Ukraine thing," no, don't worry about that. All of this, from the Steele dossier to this latest absurd story, is to pave the way for Clinton in 2020. When she runs. Because there is nobody stopping the Golden Moo this time. Bernie for a second had the ability to win. Like I was saying Bernie was going to win when he was like at 4% in the polls. And he went up to actually, in one poll, surpassing Clinton. Okay? There's a couple people, one person on the left is like, oh, you said that, that Bernie can still win. It's like, no, after July 5th, when Comey literally covered up all of her crimes, I never said that Bernie could still win. I said there could be a contested convention, but we know his spine is made of jello, so there you go. There you go. So, the bottom line is, I never said that he was going to win after Comey covered up Clinton's crimes. But this is the great thing about another Clinton run and a devastating, catastrophic, cataclysmic Democratic loss in 2020, which will be amazing, is that the same people who were reluctant to bring up Clinton's criminal acts, because these are the people who are like, Medicare for all, man, and they don't like me. I'm not talking about, there's some people, whatever, but the people who don't like me on the left, like, Medicare for all, man. What about Clinton's crimes? Well, we don't want to go there because it's too close to home, We're still on the same side, kind of, but, we're really tough on the Democrats. They're really afraid of us because we're so loud when we say Medicare for all, man. Why don't you bring up Clinton's criminal acts? No, we're on the same side, so we don't want to be too H.A. Goodman-ish crazy, loony. When they lose again, it'll be fantastic because all of them will be like, well, she was a criminal the whole time. It's like, I told you that in 2015. Yes, I did. You didn't listen. Too bad. Now you're going to have record low unemployment, all the other good things, First Step Act, peace between North and South Korea with Trump. Give me your thoughts below. This all leads back to, it's like when you point at somebody, you have three fingers pointing back to you. All leads back to Democrats. It obviously helps the Golden Moo immensely. Biden's campaign is done. Okay? He doesn't have a political campaign. Look, when he had no scandals, he had a plagiarism scandal in 2008, actually. He always has these bizarre, when he had basically no scandals, he got 1% in Iowa. Maybe now he'll get less than 1/3%. Who knows? Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now.